Hello, I'm Tim Nichols, and I get asked often, how do I get my mustache, my handlebar mustache, to look like it does? How do I get it to be so curly? And I'm going to do a video to show the different products I use and show what I do to get it like that. I actually have a curly beard, and I really think that your DNA determines how well it curls or not. So uh, having a curly beard, it makes it curl tighter. For people with straight hair, they actually would have to grow it longer to get a more lengthened type curl to it. I typically don't do these types of videos, so I appreciate you tuning in, and I'm going to do my best with what I have. So I don't have a particular brand of, I would say, continuous brand that I do all of these processes with, but I have several that I'm going to show you, and this is what works for me. So I do use some in particular, though, that are very helpful for this. So I will get into that now. After I get out of the shower, I use a beard oil. It doesn't have to be this one. This one happens to be a Clubman Panade beard oil. I like it because it's thick. There are others. There's one called Beard Culture. It has a thinner feel to it, and it produces a great shine. I just use this one because it's thicker and helps with my curly hair. So I put that in. I've already done that, and so you can see by the frizziness of it, it's dry. And I will now put on the first layer of my mustache wax, and I do that first because it's a two-step process for me. Again, my hair is so curly that it fights the wax, and so you can see it curling right now, and it just does that, right? But this one is curling forward, and this one does whatever it wants to do. So I use the wax to make it all work together, and that's pretty much what you have to do when you have a handlebar mustache. So the wax that I use first is a Clubman mustache wax here. Even comes with a little mustache comb, and I use the neutral. They do have different colors like black or brown or whatever. I don't mind my gray, so I'm kind of proud of what I've done to earn that gray. So I use neutral on this. The black is very black. The brown is very brown. I've heard it mentioned in other videos called shoe polish type white coloring or something like that. So I don't use colors in my beard or mustache. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put on this first layer, and I don't know if you can see this. I'm going to use just a little bit, and I put on the first layer and then comb it through. So I just put it there in the middle like that, and then I'll brush it out. Now, you saw the little brush that comes with this wax. I actually started using an eyebrow comb slash brush. This is in the women's makeup section, but this is a little bit sturdier for me because I have coarser hair. So I brush it out, brush the wax into my mustache like so, and you can see it's still crazy. So then I begin to shape it and twist it where all of the hair works together. And this is just the start of the process because I have very coarse hair that does what it wants to do. So I began to get it into the shape that I want and trying to make the hairs work together. This one just needs a little bit more on the ends. So I put a little bit more out here on the ends. So you can see it begin to take shape. And with any excess, I just kind of rub into my beard like that. Now, While the interesting thing about this wax is it goes on like a cream, but it hardens. And that's why I need it first to serve as kind of a base layer or a structure for it. I do use a different types of wax for finishing it out. That's a softer wax that smells good, and it serves as a great, it just holds it there well through the day and makes it look softer. But in the meantime, while I'm waiting on that to dry, I put on my beard wax, and I use, again, the Clubman Beard Balm. Again, there's several different great beard balms out there. 1821 has one. A friend of mine has a company called Beard Culture, and his is more of a beeswax type style, but it makes it great and shiny. But I need the creamier version for mine with a stiffer hold because mine's so curly. So, I haven't noticed any colored waxes or anything like that from Clubman. And some have different smells and all that kind of stuff. The one I use, this one, doesn't have a smell because I don't want it interfering with my mustache wax. So rub it in real good, but that doesn't usually do it since my hair is so curly. So I have to brush it in. Now, I use a brush that is sold in barbershops for hair. And my hair is so coarse that this actually worked best for me. And I could carry it in my pocket and have it to straighten out my beard, even if I've had to wear a face mask or something like that. Now, you can see that the mustache wax is pretty much dry. It doesn't really look much different, but I can comb that in a little bit better now. But my curls are there. And so then what I use is 1821 has a product that's wax, but it smells like spiced tobacco. Which it smells awesome, and that's a big part of why I use it. But the wax is very, very pliable. It's not a hard wax, so it's soft. But because of that softness, it won't hold a very curly beard like mine or mustache. So I use it as a finishing product or an overlay on what I've already done. Now, a lot of what I do here, I learned through trial and error. It didn't just happen for me. My hair already did this, but it would be easy to get discouraged, especially seeing how curly it was and how frizzy it was, and somebody that just tried the wrong wax would see that, oh man, this isn't working. I can't even do this, and just cut it off. Well, you don't do that. Play around with it, experiment with different types of waxes. It's just like this overlay here. And you can see I've put in now this 1821 wax that like mats everything down. But what I do is I take my eyelash comb here and I comb it through to get that waxy look off of there. And what that does is it gets all the hairs going in the same direction and makes it look like a natural mustache. Then you might have to come back and recurl your handlebar curls there. If you have to, you can even take the excess off of your comb there and use that back on the curls here, and these will harden. Your curls will harden as the days go, as the day goes by. It just depends on what type of wax you use and what look you're going for. I like a tight curl. A friend of mine has a very long mustache that comes out to here, and he said he hardly uses much wax except on the ends. So really just depends on what you're going for. Now occasionally, I mean, I have a stylist that helps me with this, helps me with keeping everything trim as it should be and all that stuff, but this is almost like having a bonsai tree. So the hairs will, like around my lip right now, I see strafe, and some of that maybe didn't fall right or something along those lines. And so I will come back with scissors and trim that. So even on the top part, some won't lay right. It's a beard. It's going to do what it does. So you just have to learn to play its game, I would say. As my stylist would say, beards have a mind of their own. And you just have to deal with them. So, as I wash all the wax off of my hands here, that's pretty much it. If I see like stray beard hairs or something like that that are sticking out along the sides, I'll trim those too. But that's how you get good curls on a handlebar mustache.